I'm standing at the altar, sweating through my dress shirt, and all I can think is, this is when most guys say they knew it was a mistake. Not me. I'm thinking about the HVAC load calculations. I screwed up on a condo project yesterday. Typical. I'd rather be anywhere else. On a job site, in traffic, even at my mother's kitchen table pretending to like her meatloaf, than here, smiling like a man who hasn't been quietly ghosted by his own fiancée for 3 weeks. Natalie's late. Not bride 5 minutes late. Where the hell is she late? Relax. Jordan mutters beside me, adjusting his cufflinks. He's enjoying this way too much. She's probably just realizing she can't fit into that overpriced dress. She's been in it since noon. I say, then she's having a meltdown about her contour. You know how she gets. I do. Natalie Reeves does not do meltdowns quietly. She does them with an audience, preferably one holding a ring light, which is why the whole live stream thing was her idea, not mine. Every aunt from Florida deserves to see this, she'd said, pouting like I'd suggested a courthouse wedding. So here we are, St. Mary's in Riverside, half the guests squinting at their phones because the Wi-Fi's spotty, and Marcus Bell, our photographer slash DJ slash tech guy, hovering near the altar with an iPad, looking like he'd rather be literally anywhere else. We're live, Marcus whispers, not looking up. 200 watching. Great. 200 people about to see me get stood up. The organist starts canon, in D for the third time. I catch Claire, Natalie's maid of honor, glancing toward the sacristy, chewing her lip. Something's off. Natalie's dramatic. Yeah, but she's also obsessed with being perceived as perfect. Walking in late isn't just rude. It's a branding error. And Natalie curates her brand like it's a Fortune 500 company. Should I? Marcus starts. Give her 2 more minutes. I say, my mouth's dry. I'm not nervous. I'm annoyed. Annoyed that I'm standing here like an idiot while she fixes her eyeliner or whatever the hell she's doing. Jordan leans in. You wanted to go check? No. Let her come out when she's ready to lie to my face for the next 50 years. Then the mic picks up something. Feedback first. That high-pitched whine that makes everyone wince. Then voices. Muffled, but clear enough. Coming from the side door near the confessional. The one Natalie snuck out through 10 minutes ago. Claiming she needed to fix her veil. Come on. Natalie's voice. Breathy. Giddy. Not the tone she uses with me anymore. Before someone notices. A male laugh. Low. Familiar in a way that makes my stomach drop. Ryan Maddox. I'd know that smug chuckle anywhere. Heard it at every high school football game. Natalie dragged me back when we were just friends and she was still dating him. You sure about this? Ryan asks. Casual, like he's asking if she wants fries with that. God. Yes. Natalie hisses. I can't do this. I can't marry him. Silence in the church. Not a cough. Not a rustle. Just a faint hum of the live stream picking up every word. I stare at the iPad in Marcus's hands. He's frozen. Eyes wide. Finger hovering over the mute button like it's a bomb detonator. Mute it. I say. Low. Marcus fumbles. The screen glitches. Then Natalie again. Louder now. Like she's walking toward the mic. Tell him I'm sorry. But I'm not living a lie. Not today. Not. Footsteps. Fast. The camera jostles. Marcus must have dropped the iPad or kicked it. The feed swings wildly, catching a blur of ivory satin. A flash of Ryan's leather jacket. Then the heavy oak door creaking open. Sunlight floods a lens. They're gone. And the mix still on. I hear the door slam. I hear tires screeching outside. I hear Claire whisper, "Oh my God," like she's just been punched. Then nothing. Just the dead air of a live stream that's suddenly the most popular thing in Illinois. I turn to the guests. My parents are in the front row. Mom's hand is over her mouth. Dad looks like he's about to have a stroke. Behind them, Uncle Rick mutters, "Holy shit." Someone in the back laughs, nervous, disbelieving. Then another voice, sharper. Is this a prank? I look at Marcus. He's staring at the iPad like it owes him money. The view count is climbing. 300, 400, 500. Ethan, Jordan says, grabbing my arm. Don't chase her. I shake him off. Step up to the pulpit. The mix still live. I can feel it humming against my lips. I glance at the little red rec icon blinking on Marcus's screen. 2,000 watching now. Probably more. Well, I say, my voice doesn't shake. That surprises me. Guess that's my cue. I unclip the mic, drop it on the altar like a hot coal, turn around, walk down the aisle without looking at anyone. I hear chairs scraping, whispers exploding into full-volume conversations. Claire starting to cry. Someone, probably Mrs. Patterson from the parish council, calls after me. Ethan, wait. I don't wait. Outside, the sun's too bright. The parking lot's empty except for Natalie's car, doors still swinging open, and a cloud of dust where Ryan's truck peeled out. I stand there for a second, squinting. My phone buzzes. Once, twice, then a flood. Text from my mom. Jordan, Claire, my boss, even Dana Wu, the reporter from the Tribune who covered that charity gala Natalie planned last year. I turn the phone off, walk to my car, get in, start the engine. The radio comes on automatically. Some morning zoo DJ laughing about bridezillas. I punch it off, sit there, breathe. It's not the leaving that gets me. It's the mic, the live stream, the fact that you forgot or didn't care that hundreds of people were listening, including me. My phone buzzes again on the passenger seat. I turn it back on. One notification from Jordan. Don't bring her up again. I type back. Wasn't planning to. Send it. Toss the phone onto the floor. Pull out of the parking lot. Drive. No destination. Just away. By the time I get home. The videos everywhere. Hashtag Runaway Bradell is trending. I watch it once. Just a clip. Not the whole stream. 30 seconds. Natalie's voice. Ryan's laugh. The door slamming. Over 1 million views. Comments rolling in. Bro, WTF. She planned this. He took it better than I would have. I close the laptop. Sit in the dark. My apartment smells like the Thai food we ordered for the rehearsal dinner. Still in the fridge. Still paid for. My phone rings. Unknown number. I answer. Ethan? A woman's voice. Shaky. It's Natalie. I hang up. Block the number. Unblock it. Call her back. She picks up on the first ring. Ethan, you forgot the mic. I say, calm, cold, or did you want them to hear? Silence. Then I panicked. I didn't mean for it to go like that. Go like, what? You walking out? Or you telling the world you'd rather be with him? It's not that simple. It is. I say, you made it simple, loud and clear. Please. She whispers. Can we talk? Somewhere private? I laugh. It sounds wrong. Private? You just broadcasted our marriage to the state of Illinois. What's left to say? I'm sorry, she says, and she sounds it for a second. Then, but you have to understand. I don't. I cut her off. I don't have to understand anything. You made your choice. Now live with it. I hang up, turn the phone off again, throw it across the room. It hits the wall with a satisfying crack. Sit there, in the dark. No live stream. No audience. Just me, and for the first time all day, I breathe. I wake up to the sound of my phone vibrating under the couch cushion. Again, I slept on the floor. Didn't bother with the bed. Too many memories of Natalie hogging the covers and complaining about the thread count. I dig the phone out. Cracked screen. 7 missed calls from Mom. 4 from Dad. 12 from Jordan. 3 voicemails. 1 text preview from a number I don't recognize. Ethan, it's Claire. Please call me back. It's not what you think. I ignore it. Everything is exactly what I think. I turn the phone back off and go make coffee. The machine wheezes like it's dying. Good. Let it. I drink it black, leaning against the kitchen counter, staring at the stack of unopened wedding cards on the island, wishing you a lifetime of love. So happy to see you both together. I flip them all face down. One by one, the sound is satisfying, like tearing off a Band-Aid. If the Band-Aid was on fire, knock at the door. Hard, insistent. Ethan, open up. Man, Jordan. Of course. I unlock the door. He shoulders his way in, carrying a brown paper bag from Lou Malnati's and a six-pack of Old Style. You look like hell, he says, dropping the bag on the counter. Also, you're trending. Again, I'm not hungry. Tough. You're eating. He pulls out a deep dish box, cracks it open. The smell of tomato sauce and burnt cheese fills the apartment. My stomach growls traitorously. And you're talking to me, not your lawyer, not mom, and definitely not her. Me, I sit down, pick at a piece of crust. There's nothing to say. Bullshit. Jordan pops a beer, slides it to me. Mom's losing her mind. Dad's threatening to sue the church for emotional distress. And Natalie's camp is already spinning this like you were the problem. I stop chewing. Her camp? Yeah, saw it on TMZ. Some source close to the bride says you were emotionally unavailable and obsessed with work. He makes air quotes. Also, apparently you have a micro penis. But I'm pretty sure that's just Ryan Maddox talking. I laugh. It comes out harsh. Of course he's talking. Guy's probably auditioning for Jerry Springer, the next generation. Exactly. Which is why you need to get ahead of this. Jordan pulls out his laptop, spins it toward me. The screen shows a Twitter thread. #RunawayBrideIL. Top tweet. Natalie Reeves dodged a bullet. That dude looked like he'd rather be calculating tax deductions than saying I do. Below it, a screenshot of my face mid-ceremony. Eyes glazed, mouth slightly open. Captions. Me when my boss asks if I can stay late. See? Jordan says. They're making you the joke. You let that happen. You lose. I didn't let anything happen. She walked out, and you stood there like a deer in headlights. Dude, you said, guess that's my cue. That's either legendary chill or legendary pathetic, depending on who's tweeting. I take a long pull of beer. What do you want me to do? Issue a press release? Sorry, my fiancé bailed. But here's my side. Better. Jordan grins. You call Rebecca Goldstein, best family law attorney in Cook County. You get a lawyer before Natalie's camp serves you a restraining order for emotional abuse. We weren't even married yet. Doesn't matter. She's already playing victim. Trust me, the next move is a lawsuit. Pain and suffering. Public humiliation. She'll claim you drove her into Ryan's arms. I stare at him. You think she'd actually sue me? I think she'll do whatever keeps her name in the headlines. Girl's got a brand to protect. He pauses. Also, Marcus Bell called. Said the live stream's been downloaded, re-uploaded. Meme feed. It's not going away. Great. Not great, but manageable if you move fast. He types something on his laptop, turns it back to me. Rebecca's calendar. She's at an opening at 2. I already told her you'd be there. I sigh. You're enjoying this. Damn right I am. Someone's got to be the adult while you're over here having an existential crisis about your ex-fiancé's exit strategy. He stands, grabs another beer. Now, finish the pizza. We're going to the Loop. Rebecca Goldstein's office smells like expensive perfume and fear. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Chicago River. She's all sharp angles, sharp bob, sharp nails, sharp tongue. Mr. Cole, she says, not looking up from her monitor. You're famous. Unfortunately. She swivels her chair. I've reviewed the live stream, the social media activity, the credit card statements your brother forwarded. She pauses. You're in a precarious position. Because I got left at the altar? Because you didn't have a prenup. She says it like I've committed a felony. Illinois is an equitable distribution state. Without a prenup, assets acquired during the relationship are subject to division, including your condo, your 401k, and any appreciation in your business. We weren't married. Semantics. She can argue common law marriage principles, especially given the public nature of your commitment. Also, she's already hinting at palimony. Rebecca taps a manicured nail on a legal pad. Plus, there's a small matter of the joint credit card. $18. 000 in charges over the last 3 months. Most of it in Scottsdale. Arizona. I blink. Scottsdale? Apparently. Mr. Maddox's family there, and your soon-to-be ex-fiancée was very thorough about researching relocation costs. She slides a printout across the desk. Hotel reservations, airline tickets, a U-Haul rental under Natalie's name, dated for next Tuesday. She planned this. I say, flat. Oh, she planned it. The question is whether you can prove it wasn't just a breakdown, but a calculated exit designed to defraud you. Rebecca leans forward, which brings us to the live stream. If we can establish she knew the microphone was active, that this was a deliberate act of public humiliation intended to damage your reputation and leverage a financial settlement, we have grounds for counterclaims: defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, possibly fraud. Fraud? She used your joint funds to finance a trip with her paramour. That's embezzlement, essentially. And if she's already shopping at tell-all to the tabloids, which my sources say she is, we can argue she staged the entire event for profit. I lean back. The chair creaks. So what do I do? First, stop talking to the press. No interviews. No Instagram stories about healing. Second, freeze all joint accounts. Third, draft a statement through me. Short, dignified, no accusations. Let her play the villain. Juries and Twitter love a quiet victim. She smiles thinly. And fourth, get your story straight. Because if you go on the record saying, I always knew she'd bail, that undermines your claim of emotional distress. I didn't always know. I say, I just didn't ask the right questions. Good. Stick with that. She stands, offers a hand. Welcome to the war. Mr. Cole, try not to bleed in public. Back in Jordan's car, I check my phone. Dozens of notifications. One from Claire. Ethan, please. She's lying to everyone. Call me. Another from an unknown number. This is Dana Wu from the Tribune. Would love to hear your side. I delete them both. Rebecca's right. Jordan says, pulling onto Lake Shore Drive. You gotta go dark. Let the lawyers handle it. I'm not hiding. No, you're strategizing. He grins. Also, Mom called. She's organizing a support circle at the house Sunday. Wants you to process your feelings. Hard pass. Told her you'd rather process with a bottle of Maker's Mark. She cried. Dad threatened to disown me. Standard family meeting. He pauses. Also, Natalie posted on Instagram. I stiffen. What did she say? Long caption. To my loved ones, blah blah. Overwhelmed by the expectations of tradition. Searching for my truth. Ethan will always hold a special place in my heart. Jordan snorts. Translation. I'm the victim. And also, buy my book. She's not writing a book. Yet, give it a week. He merges into traffic. Question is, what's your move? I watch the skyline blur past. I'm not making a move. I'm making a record. Record? Of everything. The texts, the charges, the lies. I pull up the live stream on my phone. Watch it again. Natalie's voice. I can't do this. Ryan's laugh. The door slamming. Jordan glances over. Dude, you're gonna drive yourself crazy. No, I say, I'm gonna drive her crazy. By not reacting. By letting her hang herself with her own words. My phone buzzes again. Natalie's name this time. I decline the call. She leaves a voicemail. I play it on speaker. Ethan, please. I know you're angry, but we need to talk. Privately. Before the lawyers make this uglier than it has to be. I'm at the Peninsula. Suite 1204. Come by tonight. Please. Jordan whistles. Ballsy. Showing up at a 5-star hotel with your mistress while your ex-fiancé's lawyer is drafting subpoenas. She's not just ballsy. I say, she's sloppy. Sloppy how? She mentioned before the lawyers. Which means she knows they're involved. Which means she's scared. I turn off the phone, slide it into my pocket, and scared people make mistakes. Like what? Like forgetting the mic wasn't the only thing recording. I tapped the crack screen. I've got backups of everything. And I'm just getting started. Jordan grins. There he is, the guy I grew up with. The one who didn't let anyone walk all over him. She didn't walk all over me. I say, she tripped on her own ego, and I'm going to be there when she hits the ground. We drive the rest of the way in silence. My reflection in the window looks different, sharper, less like a guy who got left behind, more like a guy who's done being patient. When we get to my apartment, there's a package taped to the door, no return address. Inside, a thumb drive and a note in Claire's handwriting. Watch this. Then tell me she didn't plan it. I plug the drive into my laptop. A video file opens. Date stamped 3 days before the wedding. Natalie, sitting in her car outside Ryan's apartment in Wicker Park. She's on the phone, laughing. Once the stream's live, it's too late to back out. She says, he'll have to react. And then I'm the sympathetic one. Free publicity. Eddie, everyone loves a runaway bride, especially one with a sob story. Ryan's voice, off camera, and the money? Taken care of. I moved half the savings to an offshore account. By the time he figures it out, we're in Phoenix. She pauses, adjusts the rearview mirror, smiles at her reflection. Besides, she says softly, he never noticed the mic was on during rehearsal. Why would he notice now? I close the laptop. Sit back. Breathe. She didn't forget the live stream was running. She counted on it. My phone rings. Unknown number. I answer. Ethan Cole? A woman's voice. Clipped. Professional. This is Judge Sandra Whitaker's clerk. The judge has reviewed the emergency filing for Ms. Goldstein. She's granted a temporary restraining order against Ms. Reeves and Mr. Maddox, freezing all joint assets pending a hearing next Friday. You'll need to appear. I smile. First real smile in 2 days. I'll be there. I say, hang up. Look at the thumb drive. Then at the window, where the city lights are starting to glow against the dusk. Natalie wanted a stage. Fine. Let's see how she likes being the one everyone's watching. Jordan shows up at 7 a.m. with 2 Goose Island coffees and a backpack that looks like it's carrying bricks. He drops it on my kitchen table with a grunt. You look like you haven't slept, he says. I slept? I lie. I spent most of the night replaying Claire's thumb drive. Natalie's voice, calm and cold, talking about offshore accounts like she was ordering takeout. Bullshit. Jordan unzips the backpack, pulls out a laptop, a stack of printed bank statements, and a manila envelope thick enough to choke a horse. Got everything. Took me most of the night, but I hacked her iCloud backup. I raise an eyebrow. You hacked it? Fine. Guess her password. It was Riri Forever 92. Pathetic. He boots up the laptop, spins it toward me. Check this out. Text chains, deleted emails, even a notes app entry titled Exit Strategy. I lean in. The screen's a mess of screenshots. One from 3 months ago. Natalie. He's buried in that River North project. Perfect. I can move the money and he won't notice till the statements hit. Ryan, you moving it to the Chase in Scottsdale? Natalie, better. Credit union in Mesa. Under my maiden name plus a DBA. He'll never think to look there. DBA? I ask. Doing business as. She set up a fake LLC. Natalie Reeves Events. Funneled 18 grand through it. All while you were paying the mortgage on that condo she suddenly hated. Jordan scrolls down. Another screenshot. This one from 2 weeks ago. Natalie, if I do it at the wedding. It's the last big event of my old life. Clean break. Plus, the live stream goes viral. I get a book deal by Monday. Ryan and the ring? Natalie, pawn it in Phoenix. It's insured anyway. Double dip. I sit back. The coffee tastes like ash. She insured the ring? Yep. Filed a rider 6 months ago. Mysterious disappearance clause. If it goes missing during the move, she collects 60 grand. Jordan taps the screen. She's not just a cheater. Mun. She's a con artist. My phone buzzes. Claire. I answer on speaker. Ethan. I'm so sorry. She says immediately. Her voice is shaky. I found more stuff. In her apartment. I went to grab some of my stuff yesterday and, God, I feel sick. What did you find? Jordan asks, leaning toward the phone. A folder. labeled post-wedding press. It's a media kit. Headshots. A bio talking about how she bravely chose herself over societal expectations. And a list of podcasts she wanted to pitch. The Tamron Hall Show. Today, even Dr. Phil. I closed my eyes. She had a media kit. I know. Claire whispers. And Ethan, there's a contract draft with a literary agent for a memoir, Leaving at the Altar, My Journey to Self-Love. Jordan lets out a low whistle. That's not a breakdown. That's a marketing campaign. I'll bring the folder to Rebecca's office. Claire says, I'm so sorry I didn't see it sooner. I thought she was just confused. You're not the one who should be sorry. I say, thanks. Claire, really? I hang up. Jordan's already dialing Rebecca. Goldstein speaking. Becca, it's Jordan. My brother's got the mother lode. Guayfroth, insurance fraud, premeditated defamation, the works. Claire's bringing physical evidence. We need to amend the filing before Friday. Bring it all to my office at 9. Rebecca says, Chris, and tell Ethan to stop talking to reporters. Dana Wu from the Tribune called my clerk twice this morning. He's not talking. Jordan says, glancing at me, he's building a case. Rebecca's conference room smells like toner and victory. She spreads the evidence across the table like a general laying out battle plans. Bank statements, text transcripts, the media kit, the LLC paperwork. This changes everything, she says, tapping the insurance writer. This isn't just a messy breakup. This is RICO adjacent. We take this to the state's attorney. And Natalie's looking at felony charges. RICO? I ask. Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. Fraud as a pattern of conduct. If we can show she planned this as a scheme to defraud you and your creditors, we've got leverage most divorce attorneys only dream of. She looks at me over her reading glasses. But you have to decide how far you want to go. We can bury her in civil court, or we can refer this for a criminal prosecution. Your call. I want her to pay back every cent. I say, and I want the record clear. I don't want some poor Natalie narrative sticking to my name for the next decade. Understood. Rebecca makes a note. We'll file a motion to compel production of all financial records, including those offshore accounts. And I'll draft a cease and desist to every outlet sniffing around for her exclusive. If she talks, she risks tampering with a witness, and spoliation of evidence. My phone buzzes. Unknown number. I decline it. It buzzes again. And again. Jordan checks his phone. It's blowing up on Reddit. He says, someone leaked Claire's media kit. Threads titled, Runaway Bride Planned Her Own Villain Arc. Comments are brutal. Read one. I say, imagine being such a narcissist you write your own PR before you even say, I don't. Jordan snorts. Another one. She didn't forget the mic. She wrote the script. Good. I say, let them talk. It's free discovery. Rebecca clears her throat. Gentlemen, focus. We have a hearing Friday. I need Ethan prepped. No emotion. No, she hurt me. Just facts. You're not the jilted lover. Mr. Cole, you're the victim of a calculated fraud. I can do facts. I say, see that you do. She slides a stack of documents toward me. These are interrogatories. I want them answered by Thursday. And Jordan, get me access to that iCloud backup. Everything. Emails, photos, the Notes app, if she wrote it down. I want it. Jordan nods, already cloning the drive. As we leave, my phone buzzes again. This time, I answer. Ethan, Natalie's voice. Shaky, performative. Please, you have to stop this. The things people are saying about me, it's not true. Which part? I ask, stepping into the elevator. The offshore account? The fake LLC? Or the media kit you had printed before the altar? Silence. Then a sharp inhale. You went through my things? Claire did. And Jordan accessed your iCloud. Riri Forever 92. Nat? Really? You're violating my privacy. She hisses. No, you violated my trust, my bank account, and about 200 wedding guests afternoon. But keep talking. My lawyer loves a good admission. I'll sue you for this. For hacking. For slander. For what? Telling the truth? Go ahead. Sue me. We'll add it to the docket for Friday. Judge Whitaker can explain to you why stealing 60 grand in insured jewelry and fleeing to Arizona with your high school boyfriend isn't self-love. I pause. Although, I'm sure Doctor Phil would have thoughts. You're a monster. She whispers. No, I say, I'm the guy who finally stopped believing your bullshit. Enjoy Phoenix. Natalie, hope it's worth the felony charge. I hang up. Jordan's grinning like a hyena. Dude, that was cold. She started it. I say, the elevator doors open. We step into the lobby. Dana Wu from the Tribune is waiting by the security desk, microphone in hand. Ethan, any comment on the allegations that Natalie Reeves premeditated Saturday's incident? I stop, look at the camera. Allegations? Her own Notes app entry calls it an exit strategy. I'd call that a confession, not an allegation. But I'll let the courts handle the details. Do you feel betrayed? I feel like I dated a woman who thought I do was a business model. But hey, at least the live stream was authentic. I start to walk away. Then pause. One more thing. Tell your editors to fact-check her memoir. Chapter 1's already perjurious. Donna blinks. Jordan cackles. We push through the revolving door into the sunlight. You realize you just went viral again. Jordan says, checking his phone. That clip's going to be on every local affiliate by noon. Good. I say, let her try to sell a book now. Every publisher in New York just heard their legal department scream. My phone buzzes. A text from Claire. Thank you for saying what I couldn't. Also, she's been emailing Ryan's ex-girlfriend from college, trying to get her to sign an NDA about his temper. She's scared the domestic violence angle might stick if Ryan lashes out publicly. I show Jordan. He stops walking. She's trying to cover his ass now. She's trying to control the narrative. I say, but narratives need receipts. And I've got a warehouse full. We get to Jordan's car. He tosses me the keys. Drive. I'll keep digging. If she's been emailing NDAs, there's a paper trail. And if there's a paper trail, Rebecca's got a field day. I finish. I start the engine. The radio flips on a talk show host mid-rant. And now we're learning the runaway bride may have staged the entire thing. Calls are flooding in. Is this the most calculated breakup in Chicago history? I turn the radio off. Pull into traffic. You okay? Jordan asks. I'm better than okay. I say, I'm free. And she's about to learn that the mic wasn't the only thing she forgot to turn off. My phone buzzes one last time. A news alert. Sources. Natalie Reeves faces potential fraud charges in wake of viral wedding exit. I smile. Hit delete. Friday's going to be fun. Jordan elbows me awake at 6 a.m. You're wearing that? He nods at my charcoal suit. The one Natalie hated because it didn't photograph well. Good. Let her hate it on the 6 o'clock news. It's fine. I say, nodding the tie. My hands are steady. That surprises me. After 3 nights of scrolling through Natalie's iCloud, I've moved past anger. I'm at something colder. Clinical. Rebecca says don't talk to anyone. Jordan says, tossing me a protein bar. Especially not Dana Wu. She's camped outside your building. I'm not talking. I bite into the bar. Tastes like sawdust. I'm performing. Same difference in Cook County. We take the elevator down. Dana Wu's there. Microphone thrust toward the closing doors. Ethan, will you seek criminal charges against Natalie Reeves today? I don't answer. Jordan steers me through the lobby, past the security desk, where the guard gives me a nod that's half sympathy, half respect. Outside, a cluster of cameras. Someone shouts, Ethan, how does it feel to be the most famous almost groom in America? I keep walking. Jordan mutters, keep it moving. Vultures. The car ride is quiet except for the scanner app Jordan's running. Police chatter. Traffic updates. And then, the Reeves hearing's the big draw. Half the press pools at the Daily Center. Jordan glances at me. You ready for this? Ready for her to lie under oath? Yeah, she'll cry. Jordan warns. You know she will. The "I was so overwhelmed" routine. Let her. I pull out my phone. Scroll to the Notes app entry Rebecca highlighted. Crying on cue. Practice in the mirror. Left eye first. Then the tremble in the lower lip. Natalie even timed it. 14 seconds to peak waterworks. We pull up to 50W. Washington. The Richard J. Daley Center. Home of the Cook County Circuit Court. And today, home of the Natalie Reeves Show. Reporters swarm the entrance. Jordan flashes a badge. A friend in the clerk's office hooked him up, and we slip through a side door into a service elevator. 4th floor, he says. Family court. Judge Whitaker's chambers. Rebecca's waiting outside courtroom 409, pacing like a litigator in a legal thriller. She looks me up and down. Suit's good, face is better. You look like a man who trusted the wrong person, not a man who hates her. She hands me a folder. Review these. Stick to the facts. When I ask if you were aware of her financial activities, say no, Your Honor. When she claims emotional distress, let her talk. We'll dismantle it on cross. Got it. And Ethan? Don't look at Ryan Maddox. He's here, sitting in the back with his public defender. Natalie's paying for his counsel. By the way, another $400 an hour, courtesy of your joint visa. The courtroom doors swing open. Rebecca strides in. Jordan squeezes my shoulder. Go get her. Inside, it's a zoo. Flashbulbs pop despite the judge's rule. Reporters cram the press bench. Natalie sits at the plaintiff's table in a pale blue sheath dress. Hair swept up, makeup flawless. She doesn't look at me. Her lawyer, a slick guy named Lowell from a loop firm, whispers in her ear. Ryan slouches behind them, wearing a borrowed sport coat that doesn't fit. He smirks when he sees me. I look past him. All rise. The bailiff barks. Judge Whitaker enters like a force of nature. Silver hair, black robe, zero patience. She raps the gavel once. Be seated. This is in Reeves v. Cole, docket number 24, CH 001892. I've reviewed the motions, the financial disclosures, and the colorful exhibits submitted by Mr. Cole's counsel. She peers over her glasses at Natalie. Ms. Reeves, your request for a continuance is denied. We're here to address the temporary restraining order, the asset freeze, and the allegations of fraud. Let's begin. Lowell stands. Your Honor, my client is a young woman who, save the TED Talk, counselor. Judge Whitaker cuts him off. I've read the pleadings. Mr. Cole's side alleges a pattern of fraudulent transfers, insurance fraud, an intentional infliction of emotional distress tied to a premeditated departure during a wedding ceremony. Ms. Reeves, you may respond. Natalie rises. Her hands tremble perfectly. Left hand first, then the right. Your Honor, she begins. Voice cracking on cue. I made a terrible mistake. I was overwhelmed by the expectations of the wedding, the pressure of planning, and my own unresolved feelings. I never meant to hurt Ethan. I certainly never intended to commit fraud. Unresolved feelings. Rebecca repeats. Standing. Your Honor, we've submitted Exhibit G, a text exchange between Ms. Reeves and Mr. Maddox dated 3 months prior to the wedding. In it, she states, and I quote, once the stream's live, it's too late to back out. He'll have to react. Low objects, hearsay, and taken out of context. Context of planning a public exit? Judge Whitaker raises an eyebrow. Overruled. Ms. Reeves. Explain, too late to back out. Natalie's lower lip quivers. For seconds in, 6 seconds ago, I meant that once the ceremony began. I couldn't embarrass him by stopping it. I was trying to minimize the harm. By leaving during the vows? Rebecca asks, stepping closer. Exhibit H, a Notes app entry titled Exit Strategy. Written 2 weeks before the wedding. If I do it at the wedding. It's the last big event of my old life. Clean break. Plus, the live stream goes viral. I get a book deal by Monday. Does that sound like minimizing harm? Ms. Reeves? Natalie's eyes dart to Ryan. He's staring at his shoes. That was a private journal entry. I was venting, exploring my feelings. Exploring your feelings. Rebecca echoes. Exhibit I, a wire transfer of $18. 000 from your joint savings account to a credit union in Mesa, Arizona, under the DBA Natalie Reeves events. Dated 10 days before the wedding. Exploring your feelings with $18,000? Objection. Lowell shouts. Relevance. Relevance is why we're here. Counselor. Judge Whitaker snaps. Ms. Reeves. Answer the question. Natalie's breath catches. 10 seconds. 12. I transferred the money for a business opportunity. I was going to tell Ethan. After you were in Arizona? Rebecca asks. Exhibit J, a one-way airline ticket for two, Chicago to Phoenix. Departing the Wednesday after the wedding. Purchase with Mr. Cole's credit card. Were you exploring your feelings at 35,000 feet? I needed space. Space you booked in advance? Rebecca presses. Exhibit K, an insurance rider on the engagement ring. Filed 6 months prior. Listing mysterious disappearance as a covered peril. Exhibit L, a draft contract with a literary agent for a memoir titled Leaving at the Altar. My Journey to Self-Love. Did you explore your feelings onto a signed book deal? Ms. Reeves? Natalie's crying now. Real tears. The 14-second mark. But her hands aren't trembling anymore. They're clenched on the table. You're twisting everything. I was scared. I felt trapped. Trapped, Judge Whitaker repeats. She leans back, steepling her fingers. Mr. Cole, do you have anything to add? I stand. My voice doesn't shake. Only that I didn't feel trapped until I realized a woman I was marrying had a media kit printed before she bought her wedding dress. Your Honor, I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm asking for the truth to be on the record and for the assets she stole to be returned. Judge Whitaker nods. I've heard enough. The temporary restraining order is made permanent pending a full trial. Ms. Reeves, you are enjoined from dissipating any further marital assets, including proceeds from any media appearances or literary contracts related to these events. Mr. Lowell, advise your client that any attempt to monetize the situation will be viewed as contempt of court. She turns to Natalie. And Ms. Reeves, next time you plan an exit, turn off the microphone and perhaps consult a conscience. The gavel falls. Bang. The sound echoes. Natalie buries her face in her hands. Ryan slumps lower. Reporters surge forward, but the bailiff blocks them. Outside, the hallway is chaos. Dana, Wu shoves a microphone in my face. Ethan, did you expect the judge to rule so decisively? I expected the truth to matter. I say, today, it did. Will you pursue criminal charges? That's up to the state's attorney. I've given them everything they need. I glance back at the courtroom doors. Natalie's being escorted out a side exit. Lowell shielding her from the cameras. Ryan's nowhere to be seen. Jordan claps me on the back. Dude, you just ended her career before it started. Good. I say, let her try to sell self-love now. Every publisher in New York just got a copy of that Notes app entry. Rebecca joins us, already on her cell. Clerk's office is processing the asset freeze. I've notified the insurance company about the fraudulent writer. They're opening a criminal investigation. She smiles, thin, sharp. You did well. Mr. Cole, you let her hang herself. My phone buzzes. A text from Claire. I watched the hearing from press room. You were incredible. She's done. Also, Ryan's ex just went on WGN. She's talking about the NDA Natalie tried to force on her. It's bad. I showed Jordan. He whistles. It's not just bad. It's a massacre. We step out into the afternoon sun. Reporters shout questions. I ignore them. Slide into Jordan's car. He cranks the engine. Where to? He asks. Home. I say, I need a drink, and then I need to change my Wi-Fi password. He laughs. Deal. But first, check Reddit. Runaway Bride's Notes app is the top post. Someone annotated the whole exit strategy entry. It's brutal. I pull out my phone. The top comment reads, "She didn't forget the mic. She wrote the script. And the internet just fired the director." I smile. For the first time in weeks. It reaches my eyes. Justice isn't a gavel. It's a footnote on a viral thread. And Natalie Reeves just became hers. 6 months later. I'm elbow deep in a demolition site in Pilsen when my phone buzzes. Drywall dust coats the screen. I wipe it on my jeans and check the notification. Another news alert. I almost swipe it away. But the headline catches my eye. Former runaway bride Natalie Reeves hit with federal wire fraud indictment. I snort. Jordan, holding a crowbar beside me, glances over. Let me guess. Karma finally grew a badge? Bigger. I hand him the phone. Federal. Seems the state's attorney shared her findings with the U.S. Attorney's Office. The offshore account in Belize pushed it into federal jurisdiction. Jordan whistles. Low and long. Belize? Damn. She really thought she was Tony Montana. He scans the article. Indictment includes 6 counts of wire fraud, 3 counts of interstate transportation of stolen property, and 1 count of aggravated identity theft for using your Social Security number on the Mesa Credit Union account. He looks up, grinning. They're throwing the book at her. How's it feel? Like a Tuesday. I say, turning back to the stud wall, I'm ripping out. Get back to work. This community center isn't going to frame itself. He laughs, swinging the crowbar. Cold. Mun. Ice cold. I like it. We work in silence for a while. The rhythmic crunch of metal onward filling the hollow shell of what will be the Logan Square Community Hub. A name I hated at first, but the neighborhood kids voted for it. So it stuck. No cameras. No livestream. Just sweat and the smell of old lumber. It's better than any therapy Rebecca Goldstein billed me for. Later, I'm alone in the trailer, wiping dust off my boots. When the phone rings, unknown number, Arizona area code. I consider ignoring it, but curiosity wins. I answer with a grunt. Ethan, Natalie's voice, thinner than I remember, tired. Did you see? I saw. I say, congrats on the federal charges. That's a new level of self-love achievement. She ignores the jab. They froze everything. Ethan, everything. The account in Mesa, the one in Belize, even the money Ryan's mom loaned us. We're broke. Ryan's talking to the prosecutor. He's going to flip on me for a lesser sentence. Smart kid. I say, about time he learned consequences. Please. She whispers. The performative tremble is gone. This sounds raw. I need you to talk to them. Tell them I was coerced. That Ryan made me do it. I lean back in the folding chair. It creaks. Coerced? Is that what they're teaching you in your public defender's office? Natalie, you had a notes app entry titled Exit Strategy. You timed your crying. You bought a one-way ticket before you even picked a caterer. Coercion requires a gun, not a guy who thinks Riri Forever 92 is a secure password. You don't understand. She insists. The pressure, the expectations. I understand perfectly. I cut her off. You wanted a story. You got one. Now you live it. Without my money, without my name, and without an audience. I pause, though I'm sure Doctor Phil's still taking calls. Might be your last shot at a book deal. She starts to cry. Real crying this time. Not the 14-second performance. I'm scared. Ethan, I could go to prison. Then maybe next time. I say, don't treat a wedding like a season premiere. I hang up, block the number. Delete the voicemail before it finishes recording. Jordan pokes his head in the trailer. Everything cool? You look like you just killed a spider. Worse. I say, I just killed the last bit of curiosity I had about her. Good. He tosses me a cold LaCroix from the cooler. Claire texted. She's engaged to a guy named Dave. Works in IT. Seems stable. No media kits in sight. I crack the can. Tell her congrats. And tell Dave to get a prenup. Already sent the screenshot. He grins. Also, Rebecca called. The civil case is officially closed. Natalie signed the dissolution agreement. You get the condo, the 401k, and the satisfaction of knowing she's barred from ever profiting off this mess. The judge added a permanent gag order. No books, no polkas, no inspired by true events TikToks. Efficient, I say, very. Oh, and one more thing. Jordan pulls out his phone, thumbs through it, and turns the screen to me. It's a grainy photo from a Phoenix grocery store. Natalie, wearing a stained hoodie, pushing a cart with a wobbly wheel. No makeup, no ring, no Ryan. The caption underneath. From some local gossip blog. Fall influencer spotted stocking up on ramen. I stare at it for a long second. No satisfaction. No schadenfreude. Just nothing. Like looking at a stranger who used to owe me money. I hand the phone back. Delete it. I say, I don't need to see her ghost. Jordan blinks. Seriously? Seriously. She's off air. Jordan. Finally. And I'd like to stay that way. He nods slowly. Deleting the image. Fair enough. So what now? Back to blueprints? Or are you going to keep building hubs for ungrateful teenagers? Both. I say, standing up. I grab my hard hat, knocking a layer of dust off the brim. But mostly, I'm going to finish this wall. Then I'm going to go home, microwave a frozen burrito, and watch the Blackhawks lose. Alone, in silence. Sounds like a plan. Jordan says, clapping me on the shoulder. A really boring, really healthy plan. Exactly. I walk out of the trailer into the late afternoon sun. The site is quiet except for the distant hum of the city. No reporters. No cameras. Just the skeleton of a building that will eventually hold tutoring programs, a food pantry, and a basketball court where nobody cares about my wedding day. I pull out my phone one last time, scroll past the news alerts, past the text from Jordan and Claire, past the automated reminder from Rebecca's office about final document disposal. I open the voice memo app, find the file labeled ST, Mary's raw audio. I press play, Natalie's voice, tinny and distant. Come on, before someone notices. Ryan's laugh, the door slamming. I listen for 10 seconds, 20, then I hit delete. The phone asks, are you sure you want to permanently delete this recording? Yeah, I say to the empty lot. I'm sure. I confirm. The file vanishes. The progress bar disappears. The space where her voice lived is just empty. I slide the phone into my pocket and pick up my drill. The first screw bites into the 2x4 with satisfying thunk. Solid. Permanent. No retakes. Behind me, Jordan starts up the radio. Some local DJ is joking about ill-advised weddings and brides who ghost. I tune it out, focus on the line of the wall, the level in my hand, the weight of the tool. This is a rhythm now. Build, measure, screw it down. No audience, no commentary, just the work. And for the first time since that mic clicked on, I can't hear a damn thing.